What's up, guys? It's Blake with Y2K, and today I bring you a 94 fly yellow Ferrari 348 Spider, a car that I think is going to be on the collector radar as the future goes on, probably the near future, as 355s do what they do and the prices get up to $300,000 like we saw them bring a trailer the other day. I'm also a sales specialist with LBI Limited, based out of Philadelphia and Detroit. I bought my Diablo from them back in 2019, and I found this car for them, and it is going to be for sale. So I wanted to do a POV video for you guys, and we'll do a little walk around. It's a beautiful color. The 94 348s. This is like a Gen 2 really of a 348. They had a Special and a Spider for those years, and had a little more horsepower. I believe a factory 2B exhaust, some suspension refreshments, and just a lot of minor little things that added up to I think a pretty big improvement in the drivability and just the performance of the 348 in general. So let's get in here and take it for a drive. We're in beautiful Florida today, so the perfect place to drive a convertible 348. AC is ice cold, which is nice, and the buttons are not sticky. You have to open the door to get that top belt on. It's just like my Diablo, cross belt and then shoulder belt. Okay. Make sure that is facing the right way. The camera was slightly touching my nose, which is kind of weird. Get her warmed up on these residential roads, but beautiful bay frontage right here. So a good place to just get all the fluids going. Not a fan of the speed bumps. What a beautiful day. I think it's just under 80 degrees and not much humidity, which that part will end around June. The humidity will welcome itself into the area, and then we will be hot, which is not fun. But for right now, it's perfect convertible weather. Sounds amazing. As a kid, I had a 348 yellow TS, which I think it was like a 91 or something, so a first gen 348. I had the 1/18 scale model, and I still have it in my office. And next to it is a purple SE30 Yoda Diablo. Not the light viola, but the darker purple. Most people think of purple on a Diablo, they think of the Cosmic Girl video. But always wanted a yellow 348. And this is going to be a hard one for me to sell for LBI because naturally I want it. At First, I wasn't much of a Spider guy, but I've been driving this thing for a few days, and it's starting to grow on me, actually. It's really nice to have the top down and hear the engine, and puts you a little more in touch with the car. And I don't notice a lot of the cowl shake that you would experience in older convertibles. It is a manual top, which is much lighter than a power top, so I'm not sure if this car is that much heavier than a TB or a TS. Currently stuck behind a Honda Civic, and I apologize in advance for that. More speed bumps coming up. Once we get out of this street, we got another quarter mile. We're gonna roll up a beautiful bridge and cross over what we call in my area Crab Island. And it's a amazing sandbar that people will boat at. It used to actually be a real island, but as time has gone on, it's eroded to a sandbar. My dad's lived here his whole life, and he's about 65, and he said when he was a kid, it was an island, which is pretty cool. So we're gonna go right up this bridge, and can open her up a little bit. Woo. It's a lot of fun. Hopefully it's not too windy. See if I can. That's Crab Island right there. I'm really hoping it's not too windy right now, but got the windows up now. We're in 5th gear, just cruising, and steering on this car is super light as Ferraris go. This is no power steering, so you would think it would be heavy. The Diablo is much heavier. So usability, it's great for that. And it just feels like a little go-kart, really. The brakes are amazing, and they react quickly. They're not touchy, but they're firm. The gated shifter is a pleasure to operate, and it makes a lot of the clicks that you would expect and hope in a gated Ferrari. Some manual cars, the Diablo once again, doesn't have a lot of the clickiness, and you can't really shift quickly in a Diablo. So this is really nice. You can actually shift about as fast as you would like to. It's not going to be a speed shift by any means, but gets the job done, and it sounds great doing it. I always like gated shifters because I remember watching Rocky IV. He had a Yalpa, and you could hear the click in the scene where they're playing No Easy Way Out. So always like that sound. Crossing some sand dune areas right now. This is protected area owned by the military, but really beautiful area. They used to have an officers club over here that my grandfather was the bartender for back when he was in the Air Force. But yeah, no sticky buttons. The stereo works nicely. It does have an aftermarket head unit, but if you wanted to go for a more retro look, you could certainly do that. And it's got some little bazooka speakers behind me. What a beautiful day. Drop it to 4th, give it a little power. Love that sound. That sound reminds me of the movie Sin of a Woman, where Al Pacino drove a Mondial T, which is the actual same engine as this. But in that movie, he was blind. So if you ever seen Sin of a Woman, you should definitely go watch it. Get it on Amazon. Spectacular day. But yeah, no sticky buttons. Radio works. Clutch feels good. Fresh major, 30,000 miles. Only place the car's been repainted is the front bumper, which is kind of to be expected in an older car that's this low to the ground. A lot of chips, etc., from driving. So that's been freshened up, and it's just a great driver. It's not so low mileage that you're afraid to use it, and it's not so high that you're afraid to use it because of, you know, just high miles on a Ferrari engine from the 90s. So just scoop around, do a little U-turn. We'll do one more pull. The rev matching is really something on this car, and the brakes feel fantastico. Leclerc's having a great year, so maybe it's a good time to buy a Ferrari and show the homage to them, as they might be world champions this year. I'm going to the Miami race in just under 2 weeks, so I can't wait to see that, and I'll be rooting for Leclerc. Comment down below with who you're going to root for this year in Formula One. It's been a really exciting season. All right, I think we're clear for takeoff. Spin it around. Oh yeah. It's about 315 horsepower. 0 to 60 back then was about 5.6 for the Spider. I believe it was around the same speed as the first gen NSX, which these cars were big rivals at the time, and the NSX, I want to say, was actually slightly faster. I've driven both, and I do like kind of the tactile feel of this Ferrari. NSX is obviously a Honda, so amazing reliability, and it looks good. But I like the sound of this V8 and the gated shifter, and just I love the wedge design of these 90s and 80s supercars. If you got any questions, you can email me at blake@lbilimited.com. Got a full photo set on the car, and the copy of the major that was done for the belt service. This car also has new tires and a new battery, and it's ready for its new owner. So give me an email or contact me in some way, shape, or form. Y2K Official on Instagram. And if you're interested, we'd be happy to talk to you about the car. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed the video today in sunny Florida with the bright yellow 94 Ferrari 348 Spider. All right, thanks guys. Enjoy your day.